Is it actually possible to play a TFO if the boss dies before your screen even loads? Look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the whole delete button builds are finally getting some much needed reality check. Today I'll be breaking down the console event, the technical fixes, and why your Infinity Box just got a lot more interesting. Because the Partners in Crime gear is finally hitting the exchange and prices normal humans can afford. This week patch notes are out, and the Crystalline Entity, like I said, just got a massive survivability that is actually about fairness. And what I love to see is this fundamental shift in how Cryptic now handles those phase transitions.
Game update detected. Balance changes promised. Balance remains theoretical.
Let's beam over to the console side of the house first. So, Xbox and PlayStation captains, it's time to sharpen your buttlets. A Good Day to Die is officially live.
Correct. The event commenced on May 12th and will run for 3 weeks. Participation contributes to Event Campaign 8. The primary reward is the Klingon Executor Arsenal.
Now look, the Klingon Executor's Arsenal isn't exactly going to break any meta, but it is a solid disruptor flavored gift basket for your ship. I've been playing with it since the PC launch, and the dual beambank was actually overperforming at one point, and it was doing some pretty crazy things before they kind of reined it in. So for the console crowd, you're at least getting the fixed, stable version right out of the gate. It is a great set for beginners or anyone running a dedicated, let's say, Klingon theme build. The dual beam bank is still really good, and the dual cannons are, well, they're okay. I will say the torpedo is definitely a letdown, but like I said, if you're building for flavor or if you're just starting out, it is a fantastic way to get geared up without the grind. If you're already deep into the event campaign, this is just another notch in the belt for that T6 coupons, promo ship, and the low buy. And like always, after the event is over, after the 14 days, continue playing because you'll still be racking up those campaign points. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about these patch notes. I'm actually impressed. They are paying attention to the details here. This is 2 times in a row. So the big one is, of course, Crystalline Entity.
Crystalline Entity has received a logical adjustment. It will now remain invulnerable until it has completed both absorption and release phases. This prevents high damage output players from eliminating the target prematurely.
Look, I get it. If you spend like 5 years and 5 billion EC on your build, you really want to see things explode. But from my perspective, going into a TFO and having it end in 4 seconds, it's just boring for everyone else involved. This fix means we actually all get to, play the game. It balances the needs of the average player with all of you veterans. And coming from somebody who's definitely in a category of newer, aka average players, it's about goddamn time. Just kidding, guys.
Additional technical updates include a repair to the Tholian Universal Kit frame. It now features a dual mod slot. However, all existing modifications on these frames have been reset to ensure compatibility.
Yeah, so if you spent a fortune re-engineering your Tholian kit, sorry, but it's kind of back to basics. Well, at least you get an extra slot now. That's something. They also finally addressed the Mako weapon bug where the bridge officers were only using the secondary 5. If you've been using that set, you know it's been, how should I put, unreliable. It's nice to see them, circling back to these older pieces of gear. And speaking of console, if you're working on a Klingon recruit, they finally also fixed the Hui spawn, so no more hunting for the executioner stuck above the roof where you can't kill her. It took them some time, but you know what? Progress is progress. Now, for both the console and PC players, the Partners in Crime lockbox items have officially migrated into the Infinity Box. And this is where the real value is.
The Infinity Lockbox now contains the Breen Keth Sar Intel Courier. This vessel features the Bunker Buster experimental weapon and the Aggressive Negotiations Universal Console. It also includes the Starship trait Never There.
The Ketsar. It's the Mole and Lux ship from Discovery Season 5. I don't know, never watched Season 5. Sorry. Now, the official blogs completely missed this, but players immediately found out that it actually also has a battle cloak. It's fast, sneaky, and built for impossible escapes.
The Aggressive Negotiations Universal Console provides a tactical advantage. Upon activation, it increases starship damage and maneuverability for 10 seconds. Following this period, the vessel is forced into a cloaked state for an additional 10 seconds. This allows for a surprise attack upon decloaking.
I would really love to try that forced cloak mechanic. You would hit hard, will vanish, and then you come back for the kill. Now, I don't have the ship, but we'll see. Maybe I'll spring some EC on it. We'll see. But now, let's actually talk about the real stars hitting the Infinity rotation at the time. The Krenim Chronophage console and the Breen shield tunneling trait. Both of these are absolute heavy hitters, and finally, the majority of the players are going to be able to afford them through the exchange.
The Krenim Chronophage Universal Console attaches to a target enemy and creates a field that deals physical damage. It disables shields and inflicts a hold status. Most uniquely, it causes the affected ship to teleport randomly to nearby enemies every 5 seconds. This disrupts enemy formations and potentially forces them out of support fields.
You know what? In TFOs, when you watch these ships jump around and fly right into those hazards, it's kind of blast to watch. And finally, the majority of players are actually going to be able to afford it without, selling a kidney for it. Then we also have the Breen shield tunneling space trait. This isn't one of those glass cannon types. It's actually a major player because it grants bonus shield regeneration and hardness based on the number of nearby allies. So if you're running a tight formation, it's a massive boost to your survivability that makes it much easier to stay in the fight. Polaron builds are also getting some love, and it's about time too. These Breen Imperium weapons are kind of a different beast. First thing you see is the color. They fire these bright yellow beams or bolts instead of a standard purple.
Correct. These weapons utilize a new energy damage variant known as Breen Imperium Polaron. They feature a chance to inflict frostbite. This effect deals 1% of the total health of the target as cold damage. The set includes a full range of space and ground types, including specialized wide arc and omnidirectional beam variants for space vessels.
Now, look on paper, the frostbite mechanic looks like it could be an absolute monster for the elite content. Since it scales off the target's total health, that 1% damage should add up fast against massive boss health pools. But I don't actually own any of these weapons yet, so I haven't tested them in the field. Now, whether or not it's going to be a massive elite TFO buff in practice, honestly, I don't know. So take it with a grain of salt and see what some of the folks who actually have these weapons have to say about it. Now, when we are already talking about the weapons, let's talk a little bit about the Chron game, especially these new kit modules. To be honest, they're nothing to write home about, but they're useful. They were already quite cheap on the exchange, and now they will probably be a great value to the absolute newbies.
The update adds the Promelian assault drones and the Micro Singularity Generator Universal Kit modules. The Promelian drones provide mobile fire support. The Micro Singularity Generator creates a localized gravity well that pulls enemies into a centralized point.
The Promelian drones are fun for a pet build, but that Micro Singularity is kind of the workhorse here. Even if it's not matter shattering, it's a high potential tool, again, for the new players. If you've ever used a gravity well in space, you know how good it feels to clump all the enemies together for a grenade. Having that on the affordable kit module is going to make some ground TFOs a lot more manageable for captains that are just starting out. And finally, because the house always wins, we have 15% off key sale.
The sale covers individual keys and the 20-pack keyring bundle. The bundle includes a single Ultimate Tech upgrade. The promotion ends May 16th on PC and May 18th on console.
Rule of Acquisition 74. Knowledge equals profit. The knowledge here is don't buy keys at full price. If you're hunting for that brain chip, or just need some low buy to buy some boiler effects, yeah, now it's time to load up. Although I will always recommend you buy that stuff on the exchange. So, all in all, decent week for Star Trek Online. They're fixing the TFOs, bringing the prices down on Discovery gear, and keeping up the consoles busy. It's not a revolution, but it is a smart management, and I love when they pay attention to details. Anyways, until the next time, M5, take us out. Full impulse and engage.
Support the organic creator, like, share and subscribe.